So this is the third installment of the Paco de Lucia tutorial. This is the third anniversary of his passing, and I'd like to show this time a couple of modern falsetas, this time from a recording from the 90s that was called Soniquete, was the name of the original. Now the original piece is actually in C sharp in this key, but I took the liberty of transposing it to A por medio, so it kind of fits in the scheme of the other falsetas that we did. Paco himself actually did transpose the first falseta, and that's where I got most of the fingerings from, so that he could incorporate it into his por medio improvisation. And so we're going to focus on that version. At the end of the lesson, if we have time, I will I'll show the just the basic fingerings for the original version in C sharp, because it's a little different in places. And then the second falseta, which he loved to do with his band, and they like to improvise solos over this progression of chords. I'll just show you the melody and the chords and what scales you could use possibly to improvise if you want. But again, this one was originally in C sharp, so it totally changes the idea behind it. And he didn't transpose this one. I took the liberty to do it myself, just so you can have it fit in the same tonality. And again, I'll show at the end the original version in C sharp, just so you have the fingerings if you want to do it the original way too. Okay? So let's start with the first falseta. The first thing that happens here is this arpeggio on the dominant chord B flat. He's playing in the 6th position. Now the important thing about the compás right off the bat, start on the 10th beat of the compás. This falseta is pretty cuadrado, meaning square, so we can count it to 12 to know where we are. But we should really, the palmas I use were in 6, so you can feel the phrasing in 6 as well. But there aren't any half compás. Everything works out into 12. So we start with this arpeggio, just the thumb AMI on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string here. It's gonna be like a dominant 7th voicing, but I'm gonna go back up to the A finger here, so, and then change chord. I keep the bar. And what I'm doing here is the ring finger up here, 1 fret higher. This would be like 5 and 6, 8, 8th fret. We still have 6 here under the bar, but then pinky goes down up here. Okay, that would be 7th fret. Okay, so we have, now with this arpeggio I have to do AMI A, and then when I change the chord, MI with P, okay? Like that. Now here I do just the B flat again, and then I pull off here to the under the bar. Now we're going to slide back 1 fret, and I'm going to replace the middle finger on the B flat to do this arpeggio. Okay. Now all this really is the B flat, A, and B flat. So that's a 6, 7, 8. And underneath the bar is the 5th fret of the 2nd string. Okay. So we have this little augmented sharp, actually it's the sharp 11th, right? Now he does this funky little bluesy sounding slide and up and back, and that would be for the D minor, so it's D, 7th fret, A, E flat, and back, right? And you can answer that with a chord hit. On the original recording he doesn't do that chord, but in the other versions of the falseta, the one he does live, and also he played this falseta with Camarón on Camarón's last album, you can hear that chord little answer, which I think is really nice. So, okay, and again the timing, if you start from 10, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so you have 1 beat there to rest before you do that closing. Now again, I think we start on the 10th beat here. So the phrasing kind of feels shifted over in this falseta from 10 to 12, so everything is like a pickup in this falseta. So this is like A flat with the sharp 11, major 7, sharp 11 again, right? So the sound he's going for here is this kind of F minor, major 7 kind of So, and this chord incorporates that. Okay. Now this is a very tricky spot. I'm not sure how clean I did it in the first take here, but this is what you got to do. You got to hammer pull here. Then you have pinky on the F, 6th fret, and then slide back. But you got to get the bar down right when that happens. It's very tricky, both for the right and the left hand here. Okay, so you got to work on that move. Now under the bar, I have the A flat, and then F is my last note of the arpeggio. So I'm doing like an AMI arpeggio again. Okay, and the major 7th is the E natural, right? And then we have, that gives that exotic color to that chord there, right? Okay, now we're going to do this tricky move with the pinky. We're going to, okay, so we're going to do a pull off from G to F, down to D, 3rd fret. Now we have this chord. Now we know this one is your typical, you know, A flat, dominant 7. Okay, and I'm not really playing this note here, but I'm fretting it just for the sake of it, okay? Because we're going to take this chord, and you notice I'm only plucking to the 2nd string. Okay, then we're going to slide it up to the 3rd position, and we're going to play, this note comes down to the B flat, so we're actually plucking the 6, 5 this time, so I actually use this note, 4, and 3. Okay, and that's just a B flat 7th inverted. Okay, that'd be, okay, and then we resolve this thing right here, and the resolution comes on beat 6, 6 and 7 and 8, like that, 6 and 7 and 8. Okay, so in case you get lost in the compositor, just remember we're starting on 10, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, and here again, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so you have those reference points. If you keep your feet going in 2s, like 10, 12, 2, 4, it stays pretty clear where the rhythm is. Okay, one more time. Okay, and I get a little aggressive here on the last note. With that, I just kind of pull on the ring finger. Now the next phrase, again, we start on 10. We do this little rajeo. This is a C7 with the 13th on top, so C13 in other words, you can call it. I do this kind of pull off, right? Sorry. So we reach all the way up here to the C note, and then this is B flat, right? So, and C to A has a like a trill, okay, and slide back to G. Okay, and then we have we end on F here. All right, and you can grab that chord as kind of an answer. Okay, so these are on the contra beats after 10, 10 and 11 and 12 and 1 and 2, like that. Okay. Staying on the contra feel, we're gonna do this melodic minor. This is like G melodic minor. It's not a full melodic minor scale, but we go from the C note here on the 5th fret, and use the E natural and the F sharp, which is your sharp 6 and your sharp 7 in minor. Right, this is a G minor chord in first inversion with the B flat 6th fret. Okay. All right. Next is this kind of tricky descending phrase. Okay, we come after beat 10 this time. So we feel the 10th beat, and then we play off of the 10. So 10 and 11 and 12. And this is just a chromatic. Okay, and this is again B flat 7 inverted. Okay, now here, similar thing, but I'm on the oh, sorry, this is a C7. Sorry, I said B flat 7. C7 inverted. Then we do it over here on the B flat 7 inverted. But this is a chromatic move here. But now we go down the scale to the we got the C sharp and the C natural. to get to your blast chord. Okay. Okay, so we have it. That's the melody. Okay, so one more time. 10 and 11 and 12 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, so we have 3, 4 is our two chords here. 3, 5, 6, right? And then it would be like that same kind of phrase there, but we do like, just to be more aggressive, just do an A chord there. Okay, so 6, 7, 8. Okay, and again we're gonna go back to this thing on 10 like we did before. Okay. All right. So now this phrase, this is a tricky one. Again, I'm feeling like a half compás, so I'm not sure if this is 4 or if this is 10, but I feel it like a 10 all the time. 10 and 11 and 12 and 1 like that. 10 and 11 and 12 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay? So we're doing this little scale here. Sorry. I guess, oh, sorry, the trill is here. Okay. And that's coming from the D, C, B flat, A, down to G. And again, this is your G minor chord inverted. We do that chord very soft. It's really just a rhythmic filler. Okay, so we keep in the tonality of G minor here. Okay, now we have the picado. So the picado sounds really tricky. It's fast, but it's a kind of a speed burst, so you don't have to go real fast. The tricky thing about it is the timing again, and 10 and 11 and so we're doing like the pick up to 10 and 10 and 11 and so we have the little trill on the last part of the 11th triplet, so that the 12th beat is sort of accentuated, but we don't really get to the 12th beat till we do that pull off there. Okay. Okay. Now we answer that 12 and 1 and 2 and like that. These little off beats. Okay, and then we're going to do the same phrase, rhythmically speaking, here. And again, that's like the pickup. So now it's, you can really feel where we are in the like groups of 6 versus 12s, right? So every time I'm saying 10, it could be 4, you know, depending how you like to count your groups of the compás cycle. So it could be a 4 and a 5 and a 6 and 7 and 8 and right, and then you have 9, 10 and 11 and 12 and 1 and 2 and right, same thing. Again, you'd have to go through and count it for sure because we repeat it 3 times. So you know, one time it's the 10, one time it's the 4, one time it's the 10, depending on where you are in the compás. Okay. Okay, so the last one we got to do whole step stretch is a little more tricky, and as you probably see, Paco likes to use the ring finger. Some people prefer to do whole steps like this. I wouldn't mind if you were doing it that way. It's just that when we end, it's good if you can slide back with your pinky here, so that you can do a B flat 7 chord before we do the next part with the pulgar. Okay, so one more time the picados. Okay, and we got that last upbeat. I do a little golpe to keep it on track. Alright, and then we have a little lead in. Again, this is coming off the 10th beat. So if you notice, every little phrase comes off the 10th beat or starts on the 10th beat. So again, we have 10 and 11 and 12 and so our downbeat or 12 is here. Okay? That's important to keep yourself grounded there, especially if you're going to tap your foot in 2s or however you like to tap your foot. Okay, so now this is sort of like an alzapua here. Okay, now this is a B flat I'm holding, 1st fret. I got the D open, and I got a C up at the 5th fret. And if you catch these open strings, it's totally cool. He's going totally kind of wacky here, out of key, over this B flat bass note. You hear a B natural here. In fact, he does a slide to the B natural. So you know the alzapua technique is usually down up, single note, and and then a slide, right? So this is the kind of thing that's happening here. Okay? And then we're going to repeat that B natural, and we're going to do a pull off here. B natural, A, second fret to the open G, okay? While you're holding the B flat right here. Okay? Okay, and then we're gonna just punch these B flat to A resolution, okay? And we have one more upstroke. And you'll notice this A chord comes kind of leading the beat, okay? So we have 12. The ensemble also leads the second beat. Okay? So that's what's happening with that little resolution. Okay? And that phrase repeats there, as you just saw. Okay, one more time. Second phrase has this kind of weird harmony going on here. Okay. Oh, one thing is that pull off comes to the third beat, just so you have that kind of reference. This is the second beat, right? And then the third beat is there, and that leads the 1. Okay, or the 12, sorry. 12. Okay? And when I said third beat, I meant 10. Like if you're going 6, 8, 10, 6, 8, 10. Okay, now we're going to climb up the scale this time, up here to the A, and then we're going to, I'm going to use my middle finger, but you should use your index here and get rid of the thumb, the index on the first fret, so that we can do this, which is basically this is a tritone, F and B natural, and you might hear the E as part of it. And if you hit the A string by accident, it's not really that wrong, but I just wanted to say, make a point to say, he transposed this from C sharp. In C sharp, he plays a B triad, so that would be like a G dominant 7th is what he's trying to do here. Okay, but just for the sake of what we're doing here, he really wants the melody to be the B natural. That's what's really the dissonant part of the falsetta. Okay, now here's a fun part. Okay, so we have these little offbeats. Again, you got your pull off to your third beat there, okay? So you gotta get used to that phrase. And you keep yourself grounded with that golpe on the 12, right? Or the 6, 12 or 6, however you're counting it. Okay? And anyway, you do that 2 times. And then we resolve like this. Okay? And then we have to answer that or with a chord. Okay, and that's on the 9 or the 3, however you come into that. So it's like not on the groove beat; it's on the upbeat there. So, right. Okay, so again. Chord on the 9, and then 12, so come off the 10 for the lead in to repeat this whole section, okay? So one thing I noticed when I get back into the groove of it, when you do this chord, you're just gonna do the pull off right away. For some reason I was thinking there's another note above, but now that I'm grooving on it, I realize that you just do this. So you go right into that pull off. Go right away, okay? So that's why I was thinking, because you come up the second time. So after the chord, you come back up, okay? Like that. Right. So you do the pull off first, then you come up, and then do the pull off here. Just 2 times, and then the second time, okay, now I do like a 9 and 10, 12 to repeat, right? So the second time, after this, I go right away, so I treat this kind of like an alzapua into this bass line figure, okay? So it's like 9 and 10 and 11 and 12. Okay, so our 12th beat is led once again. When we do this D minor chord, I just do an upstroke on it after the 12, right? So 10 and 10 and 11 and I hammer the C sharp here. Okay, so 9 and 10 and 11 and. Okay, one more time. Alright, so then the next part. This is another kind of tricky rhythm, but once you get the flow for it, you just kind of play the notes and keep your foot going on the groove, and you could probably get into the groove of this thing. It sounds pretty tricky. Syncopated, I mean. Okay, so what we're doing here is on the contra beats, okay, hammer and pull. And I go down to B natural and C. Okay, and then you got a C7 right? Now here I do 2 contras. So the D minor, just 1 contra, C 2, okay? Okay, now this phrase, again, contra, hammer, hammer here, right, and coming down the scale. Now what I do here is I play the A and hammer down to G, okay? The original one in C sharp, when you're doing this phrase, you're up in a bar position, and there's a slide. So here we can't slide from the open A, so I just hammer to the G. Okay, and that's important because we want to feel the A note on the beat. So this is where we pick the actual beat. So we do start the contra. So I pick a B flat and the A, and then hammer the G. Okay. Okay, and I feel that A on the beat. All right, so and this is where we do our little climbing chords. And those come right on the beats, like 12, or the even beats, 12, 2, 4, like that. Okay, 12, 2, 4, 6, 12, 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8, and 9. So, is that right? Yeah, sorry, we hold this chord for 2. 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9, and 10. Alright, so those chords, G minor, 7, A minor, 7, B flat 7, and then I do a B flat 9 with the sharp 11. You can finger it this way too, but if you have a traditional capo, I just bar across like you would on C9, B9, and do B flat 9 the same way. Just get my index out of the way. Okay, we're gonna let that one ring for an extra beat. Okay, and then resolve, and that's just B flat, hammer up to C sharp, B flat, pull open, and that's the end. That's B10. We start compas on 12. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole falsetta. Oh, the right hand here. Basically, I'm doing the abanico, except I'm starting down. So I'm starting on the index down, and then continue the pattern. So down, up, ring, index, down. Okay, that's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but we're actually going to do this as 16th notes, or 4 notes per beat. Okay, so instead of a triplet, I'm using triplet technique to make a 4-note rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th note is going to be up. Okay, so you like 12. 1, 2, 3, like that. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, sorry, 8 and 9 and 10. That's right, and 9 and 10. Okay, so 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 and 10. That's what I was doing wrong with the rhythm there. So anyway, slow down. Maybe from this angle a little bit better. Okay. All right. So the second falsetta. We got a C ninth, basically played this way, but we're going to use now the middle finger on the G note so that we can play the 13th, the A note up here. So, okay, so we're basically doing in C13, right? And this chords just come right on the accents, like 12 and 1, 2, 3. Okay, 6. Oh, sorry, 6, 6, 7, 8, 12. Okay, so we have these little lead-ins with these little pull-offs, but and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and right. The second one, so the first one lead-in is. So I hammer from E to F, and then we have the under the bar, the G. Okay. You might want to keep the compas going in between rather than just go. Right, you can do a little accent there on the 3. Okay, that'll kind of keep you driving the rhythm. Okay, now here. Doing an arpeggio, you might not get it the first time, but when I shift strings here, I start this AMI arpeggio. Right, so this is F, E, D on the 2nd string. And back up to the F, and then we have an F major 7 chord, okay? There's a little pickup there. Okay. Now the key change, we go to D Phrygian. So basically this is a 2-5 or a 5-1 in F. And then we go to D Phrygian. That would be the scale. Okay. So the chords are E flat and D. And the way I'm fingering these are in the inversion. Okay, so this is E flat and D. Now we have this little Arabic sounding melody. Right, sorry. Okay, so this is E flat, F, A, G, back to F. Okay? And then here we're going to do E flat to F sharp. Hammer pull is F sharp here. Okay? And we're going to answer that with a D chord. I got the 11th here, just kind of incidental out of the way I'm voicing it. Okay? Alright, so that's on the off beat as well. Okay, alright, one more time. Okay. So we have this little chromatic Arabic sounding phrase. D, E flat, D, and this will be C sharp, okay? Or you can play it that way too. But this is the way Paco likes to do his little melodies by cross-stringing the half step. Okay, so you start first with eighth notes, and then you do like kind of a swing rhythm. Okay, climbing up the scale. So here you got your tritone. Okay, and this would be your G minor. And the harmony that's happening over this, as you can imagine, the E flat to the G minor resolution. Okay, now we have another key change. This is the second key change. We're going to go up 2 steps from the D Phrygian up to E Phrygian. Okay, and here I'll do the F inverted. Okay, now the melody changes just a little bit here, but you get pretty much a similar idea of phrasing. Okay, so we do up the scale here, E, F, G, up to A, and then a trill, and then we have F, E, like a resolution, F to E. Okay, one more time. Okay, now here it moves through a different cycle of chords, and you can say it's another key change, I believe, you know, but we kind of tie it in rhythmically to that melody. This is the way I finger. It's pretty tricky. What we're going to do, so this is going to be D, C, B flat on the 3rd string. And then we got to do this minor major 7 chord. Just F major minor 7 again. Kind of like that first falseta. We hear that similar harmony going on here. Alright, so I'm fingering this here in the 5th fret position. So we got F, A flat, C, and E natural. And I'm only strumming with my thumb to the 2nd string. Okay, don't go across here, just to here. Okay. Now the melody is going to be on the 3rd string. Here, use your ring finger that's free, but then trade it for the pinky. So you do middle to pinky like that. Let me turn this way. And the reason for that is because of the voicing of the next chord, okay? Which is going to be our C7 inverted. Okay, so this is our C7, but we're going to do it C7. Actually, it's more like this is a B flat 7 with the sharp 11. Okay. So we'll call that actually B flat to sharp 11. Sorry, it's not C. So we have this F minor major 7. going to do this, which sounds a little funny because we're going to put a B natural, right? And that's going to be just D, C to B natural, and then we're going to go to A minor 7. Okay? So this is an interesting substitute for 2-5-1 move. 2-5-1 would be like B, E to A minor, right? And instead of doing that, what he's doing is F minor, B flat, Lydian dominant kind of thing to A minor. Okay? So you go to F, B flat, A. So it's a slightly different way to do the 2-5-1 move. And we're going to do that exact same phrase, but 2 frets down now in G minor. So we're going to have the E flat minor major 7. Then we got the A flat 7. Again, you just swap out the pinky for this A flat 7 chord. Sharp 11 up top. And then we have the A natural here. Okay, we went from A flat to A natural. And then G minor 7. Again, just like the A minor resolve. Okay, and then the final resolution of the pattern, let's see. We'll do a C7. And here we have this melody, B flat, C, E. And then we're going to do the B flat 7 inverted. And then the final resolving phrase. Okay, and this is from D up to F, down to C sharp, B flat, A. Okay, resolved. And that's the end of the pattern. So if you were going to just do the melody rhythmically with the chords, that's how I recorded it in the beginning. G minor. You can do a little arpeggio. Sort of the F to the F there. Okay, so this is an F sharp here. Okay, you can do that to lead into the key change. Here's your F, A minor 7. Sorry. Does with his band is they just do chords here, just strum the chords with Bulerias compás. Now here we have our minor major 7, so you can do this with this chord if you want. And then your A minor. Right? So you can either voice them this way, like you do in the melody, or you can do a fuller chord. Okay, and then we have the same thing here. This would be, you could do it this way as a fuller voice chord. The scales that you would do, you can trace out that melody again, or if you want to improvise with scales, you basically have an F major scale for the beginning. Here you got a G minor. Right. Next one, you would have an A minor, just E frigid, like soleá, until here when it does this change. Right, now that one technically would still be working with until the B flat. You got to change there to the B flat scale. dominant would work the nicest, right? And resolve it to A minor. Okay. The other way to look at it is that F melodic minor and B flat Lydian dominant are the same scale. So you could just use the B flat Lydian dominant for both the F minor chord and the B flat chord here. And then the same goes for this. You can just use A flat Lydian dominant over that part to resolve to the G minor. And once you're in G minor, you're back to your F major scale or A phrygian. And that would be the end of the phrase. Or the end of the improvised falsetta. And you can, as you know, with his band, he repeats this over and over and over. Now, I just wanted to talk real briefly and give you a basic fingerings for the original falsetta in the original key, which was actually C sharp. Right, so nothing substantial changes. There's a couple important details, but so for example, you could technically, if you didn't have a cable, you could just literally transpose it, right? That falsetto up there, which makes a lot of sense. But you know, if you put the capo on, you run out of a lot of space here, and you want to try to transpose this thing down a set of strings. So those very intro chords might be played like this instead. Sorry. And that happens to work out thanks to the bar the same way. It's just that I'm down a set of strings. And the reason it works is because I'm not really playing the B note. But what changes then is this. So I got to reach over a fret higher to do this F sharp minor. Okay, rather than up here, which here it's. Okay, so you get to do your F sharp minor chord like that. Okay, one more time. Okay, now the other part of the falsetto is exactly the same. You do this. Sorry. All the rest is essentially identical to what we did until you get to the alto puo part. Okay, so you got your piccados up here. So you end here, what would have been the B flat, and then we do our little lead in. So instead of doing like that, what he does is this. So it's an A7 instead of just the bass note, C sharp bass note. So that's different. But then we're going to do this whole thing without, you know, the B flat, that little dissonant thing where you have a B flat note. You have the B flat and the B natural. He puts all this down a set of strings now, so we're doing it with the D. So now we have a D bass note, and we have a D sharp in the melody, so that's where that weird sound comes in. Right? So luckily the G, open string G, and the open B string translate perfectly, so you can just do those same pull-offs on the B string as you would have done on the G string here. A note up here. And then this whole part you have to put a bar. And like I said before, slide here, and then the chords at the end that would have been up here, now we're doing them down here, which makes it a little bit more interesting. So the only one that would be the same as this chord. Okay, and that's pretty much it for that falsetto. And then the beginning, or the second falsetto, you get to use the open E, basically. And then instead of doing like the major 7, you can do it open. So you have open chords. And then he does this for the key change. So it's now in F sharp. But you got to jump up here anyway to do this part. Same thing that we did down below, right? going from F sharp, we go up to G sharp. So now we're in G sharp Phrygian. Now here's another one that's different. That scale is now going to be this chord, which is A minor major 7, right? And the way that it's done is like that, pretty much. You just this is a bar with the pinky on the B string melody. Okay, same thing here, G minor, major 7. Then you have your C Lydian dominant. Okay, and I come up here and just transpose it the same way. Okay, and that's the end. So it's maybe a little more fun playing that key than using, like, what did I say before? A flat Lydian dominant is kind of a tough scale, right? It's a little bit easier here to use your basically A melodic minor and then G melodic minor, and then back to your C sharp Phrygian scale for this part. Alright, well anyway, I hope you got something out of this, and we'll see you next time.